I thought we would start by talking to Chris Johnson here of Green Bench, our host. I should say our lead host for the. You've got a whole team here scurrying around and putting things together and making this possible. We haven't done this in 2 years. I mean, we're going to state some obvious facts here.
Yeah, right.
We haven't done this in 2 years for obvious reasons, even though it was one of the more special things that the two of us get to do each year, and we certainly look forward to it. But it was 2 years ago, almost to the day, that I was sitting in my living room with my bags packed, getting ready to come to this, and Trump went on TV and tried to tell us everything was fine, and the NBA walked off the floor, which has way more credibility to me, and we just had to start texting to each other that something was going awry here and we might have to make some different plans, and the whole thing basically got mothballed for a couple of years. But I am both relieved and excited and sort of optimistic and feeling some vibes right now, being back here with some people that I really appreciate and respect and love, and I'm seeing some faces that I haven't seen in a while, and man, it feels really fucking good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've done my best to enjoy beer the last couple of years, but I think we're all lying to ourselves if we say it's fine without this kind of component, right? Without each other. And it's a big deal to me to see to feel the thaw of that happening again. The last 2 years for you, like any small business owner, has been a lot of survival. But thinking in a broader context for you, I'm curious as to when you look out here and you see everybody returning and ready to take part in something like this, what it means for you for this particular thing to still have a place in our world, and these beers to have a place in our world, and these people that come with them to have a place in our world, that we didn't lose it.
Yeah, I think that obviously, yes, to echo what you're saying, it's great to be back. I missed you too very much, and it's good to see you. It's good to see everybody here again. Again, like he said, it's been a while. I think what's most special to me about this festival and the fact that it's back is part of what we lost, I think, in the last couple of years, or rather, we just haven't been able to enjoy them the way we used to, is placing an importance in, I think, honestly, truly some smaller things in our lives that I think make us happy, that make us excited, that make us enjoy each other, enjoy our lives more, and it creates a fullness, I think, in our lives. And at the end of the day, like, the last 2 years have been very serious, and beer for a lot of us can be very serious, and it is to me. I love it, right? But all those things kind of take a back seat when there's a crisis that we all kind of need to come together for and find a way to get through as one. And I think that the fatigue that we all experienced, at the very least, I think we experienced it together. And I think coming back together to do this again is just another form of us sort of celebrating, I think, what we're all going through. I mean, it's all a shared experience. And it's just exciting that we get to do this thing that we just love. It's not really about anything other than the fact that we love it, right? And at the end of the day, if we do our best to not have to worry about the biggest things there are, we get to not only enjoy ourselves more, but I think it allows us to handle some of those more serious things in a more graceful and effective manner. And I do think taking time for ourselves, taking time for the things we care about, and taking time to spend with each other helps us get through those. And so, to me, that's the big picture. To me, it's like, it's nice to be back because we can finally actually do something that we fucking want to do, right?
I think that grace is an important element of it, and I don't know, when you work in this industry, sometimes you get on the circuit, you get in a groove, you go to lots of events, you do lots of things, you sort of forget to take the moments and the time to appreciate it all. A little extra grace goes a long way right now, for sure. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this is the first time I've done this part of my job in 2 years. I'm a little nervous about it. I don't know. I had some anxiety. You know, I slept okay last night. I was a little nervous about that, but I'm doing okay. I don't know if I'm going to have the stylistic rigor that I'm used to when I'm on stage here in front of some people.
You're not as flexed at the moment, right?
Yeah,
your muscles aren't as toned as they usually are.
That's
huh?
right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I don't know. I'm going to appreciate grace from you folks today as I try to work through that, and I'm also glad that there's some people in this audience that I know for a fact know way more about the beers that we're going to be drinking today than I probably do. Some of you are nerds at a level that I only aspire to myself. So I appreciate you guys having some follow-up questions as we get through this. But I'm going to really enjoy, I think, just trying to pull at some threads today and see what stories come out and help people do that, probably for the first time in a long time themselves. But yeah, I was thinking about some of those larger lessons. The one question I wanted to ask you today is just, for the last 2 years, what's an example of something that you did for yourself that helped you grow a little bit, and what's something that maybe you did you did with the team here at Green Bench that maybe added some of that grace to their lives as well?
Yeah, I think, for myself, I bought a 1968 Impala, and so that's what I've been doing.
That'll just pave right over some of those emotions.
Yeah, that was just to that was to literally put my head under a hood and just not pay attention to much else sometimes, because I found a lot of time on my hands outside of, I wasn't hanging out with people after work,
Yeah.
And then for the staff, I'm going to be quite honest. It wasn't the worst thing in the world for the staff to kind of take a break and a breather. We were kind of going full throttle there at the end, and it was 2020 was a very fast-paced first quarter and then the half of March. And everyone was pretty stressed out. Everyone was pretty we were putting this place under a lot of stress, I think, the infrastructure of it. So I think what's helped the most is we've all gotten to take a step back. We've all gotten to look at it and say, like, why did we get into this to begin with? What is the goal? Is the goal to be, exhausted every day, or is the goal to enjoy our lives? And I think it forced us to kind of relook at how we want to grow, how we want our lifestyles to actually exist in the scheme of our work and our daily life. And I think we kind of came out with a renewed sense of where we want to go, when we want to do it, not to stop necessarily growing, but to do it in a way that isn't going to stop people from being able to pick up their kid from school, or, it's just, that's not what we want. So hopefully it means that from now on and moving forward, we have a better perspective, I think, of what's really important and what, because you lose sight of it. Sometimes you get really busy and it gets crazy, and then you're forced to stop and you say, like, okay, you know what? Like, it was cool that we had the opportunity to do that, but was it actually cool for all of us? And how can we just do it better next time, when we have the opportunity? And I think also the staff we've been very fortunate. We haven't had much turnover. I mean, honestly, we kind of have the same crew we had before we opened for the most part. There's definitely some new faces, which is always great. But compared to when we were here last time, at least. But for the most part, the same crew came back extremely excited to be back. And most of the people that you'll see tonight, you've seen before. So yeah. It's just good to kind of have gone through that with each other, kind of as a group and as coworkers and a team, and then come out on the other side, excited again about what we're doing, which is why we're very excited to be here with you guys. So Thank you.
Well, the enthusiasm is there. The space is beautiful. The way it's grown over the last few years is really exemplary. And I think if you haven't had a chance yet to visit the Web City Cellar, I think it's one of the pinnacle places in America to drink these kinds of beers. So please do yourself the favor of checking that out and looking at that list and enjoying yourself. Thanks for having us and kicking us off again this year.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
You got it.